going on, chicken friends? It's Donna Little from the Coop Scoop, and I'm out here hanging out near the quail because that is going to be our topic today. But my little pullets wanted to come outside, so I have to sit out here and keep an eye on them. But I want to talk about something that I really, really wish I had known before I took the plunge and jumped in and created this little quail world that I have going on behind me, because I was very naive when I went into this. And what I want to talk about is aggression. I mean, if you order some, or you go to a local farm and you pick up some little chicks and you have zero experience, we've only had them a little over 2 months. So if you're like me and you have no experience and you bring these little things home and they're, chicks, or you're hatching them yourself, or they're 4 weeks old like mine were when I got them, they're like little angels. They're very calm, and they let you just pick them right up, and you just think, I mean, this is like the best thing ever. They're so quiet. They're very, very quiet, even as adults. Very quiet. They do not remotely compare to chickens in the noise level. You will be lulled into a false sense of security because when the hormones kick in, so does the aggression. And I didn't know this. Now, I will say this. I think that a lot of it is due to the fact that I was not asking the right questions when I was doing research. Now, my husband and I both, we read and we looked at videos, but I think I was making my searches for my answers a little bit too specific, because what I was asking was, what are their nutritional needs? How long does it take them to reach maturity? We got them for meat birds, so, like, at what age should you butcher them? How long does it take for, quail eggs to hatch? Do they ever go, I was asking very specific questions. And had I just, first of all, probably joined a Facebook group, which I didn't even think to do. I'm on Facebook very, very seldom, so that's probably why I didn't think to do that. But that's where I would have gotten some good answers. I just didn't think to just sort of go like, I need information about Coturnix quail. I was trying to be methodical and ask specific questions so that I would get these answers, and that is probably why it never just came up on my radar. They went from 0 to 100 the day, literally, that my first rooster, and I'll say this, came into maturity, found his hormones, so to speak. I was told by the farm that we got them from that we had one rooster. So when I say first rooster, I mean first, because we did find out that we have another rooster. And he, I came in the aviary so I could clean, and I found him, mounting one of the females, and I was like, yay, because I didn't know which one was the roo. And I was like, yay, I found which, one is the rooster. Now I know. He went from, it went from this calm, little peaceful, everybody just puttering around and getting along like, little angels all the time, to relentless chasing. And it would be all day. I would hear the quail, hitting the screen, because they were so frenzied to get away from him. And he was not, it wasn't just mating behavior, it was aggression. So I said to my husband, we're going to have to separate some of these. I mean, like, this is insane. We weren't prepared. So we had to, go buy some wood, and ordered some hardware cloth. And when we were ordering it, it got delayed. So in that span of time between ordering it and it arriving, I went in, it was several days later, I went back in and I saw one of the others mounting a hen. And I was like, okay, now I get it. This is why we have the aggression, because there's two roosters, not just one, and they're competing with each other. So I knew, like, I really needed to get on with the program and get this hutch built so that I could separate them, and because I knew they would, really continue to fight. it was about, I don't know, 2 or 3 days later that we finally got our hardware cloth. We were putting it together, and I call him the psychopath, the first one that found his hormones, he actually did attack the other rooster and, gashed his head open, and there was blood everywhere. I mean, it is literally like a soap opera. It's as the quail turns in there. So I got him separated while we were still, finishing up the hutch. And the problem was, even after he was separated, the psychopath was still just very, very aggressive with particularly 2 of the others. Well, I ended up, trying to separate them in 2 different groups, and the 2 that were with him still down in the aviary, once we got the hutch finished, he was aggressive with them. I was noticing he was particularly aggressive with one of them, but he would just chase the other one, but he would attack the one. Because I had so little experience, I thought, surely to goodness I don't have a 3rd rooster. I mean, like, that would just be like the worst luck ever. And I tried to vent sex him, and I had watched videos, and it is very simple. But when I was trying to vent sex him, I was by myself, and I mean, this little bird fought me like his life depended on it. And, I was just unable. You have to squeeze, like, gently beside their, by their vent, and it will cause a white foam to come out if they are indeed a rooster. And I could barely get my hands on him. So what I did was, you can also sex some quail. Not all apply to this, but you can sex them by their feather pattern on their chest. So the roos will have more of a plain, just solid color, and the hens will have more speckles on their chest. I think it was a short a couple of weeks ago, and I just said, where are my quail people? In looking at this one, do you think that this is a hen or a rooster? Because I'm not sure. I was not really successful in vent sexing this one, and the general consensus was that is a rooster. And I thought, I can't even believe that I've ended up with 3 roosters and I'm supposed to have 1. So, and I actually think it was 100% of the people that, weighed in on it said, either you definitely have a rooster, or I'm pretty sure that's a rooster. What I ended up doing was I built the second hutch, and I put him in one side, and the other remaining hen that was with, there's 2, the psychopath has a little favorite hen, and that is his wife, and she was very aggressively pursuing and chasing the other one away. And so everything that I've read has said, it's really best to have at least 4, but 5 or 6 hens per roo, so that they don't overbreed them. I'm thinking, am I going to be able to leave this roo down in here with just 1 hen? Because he was so aggressive. As soon as I took the other hen out, so she's on one side of one hutch, and the little roo was on the other side, they're like the happiest couple on the planet. He does, mate with her occasionally, and they're down there in the aviary living their best life. I mean, I can walk in and they're just puttering around, and they're in the giant dust bath that I have given a lot of quail, but now only belong to 2 quail, and they're just having a blast, and they're getting along like a little dream. So 4 of them are together now. The one that got attacked, the roo, has himself 3 little hens. They are doing fantastic. He's not overbreeding anybody. Everybody is calm and happy. I don't know why, but I'm still only getting wet egg from those 3 hens. They are probably close to 13 weeks old, so I'm not sure. I mean, we still have enough light. It's the dead of summer here. They're getting a very high quality diet, so I don't know what's going on. I'm getting an egg almost every single day from the little hen that's on the ground in the aviary with Psychopath. That is literally what I call him. and then I'm getting 1 egg, and then the hen that is alone is laying every day also. So I came out yesterday. Let me back up and say this. All of that I just said, I know sounds very, very negative. I don't mean that to deter anybody, if you're thinking about getting quail, to change your mind, because I don't regret getting them for 1 second. I am very glad I did this. Only thing that I regret is that I didn't already have this information, because I could have had everything already prepared. I would have had those hutches already built in the event they needed to be separated. I just didn't know. So hopefully that is some information for you if you come across this video and you'll go, okay, I hadn't seen that. Maybe you were doing your research the same way I was. So with that said, I don't regret it at all. I'm very happy that I have these now in my little life and in my homestead. I have actually quite enjoyed this. It's just been a really steep learning curve, like a U-turn. Pretty steep. But I am, like I said, very happy that I've done this. Now it's time, for the update. While I was trying to do this video yesterday, I was actually in the quail pen, and right now it's a little later in the day. It's kind of darker in there, so the lighting isn't good, so that's another reason I'm out here watching the youngsters, and then also so it's not too dim. But I was doing this video a little earlier in the day yesterday, and I am literally like a few minutes in, and I point to the single roux that is up there, and as I look up, he is laying an egg. Surprise! I was just like, what in the world? So I just turned the camera off and was thinking, like, nothing is what I thought it was going to be with this whole little venture. It has just been completely crazy. So I now have 2 hens that are apparently going to lay me eggs every day that are never going to be fertilized because they can't get along with anybody. So with that said, we have decided, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably going to be a project, and when I say project, I mean the quail in general, is going to be an ever-evolving project, because I am learning as I go along, and I'm always going to be just going with the flow. What we think we're going to do is, I've been looking into this for a little while too, is I'm just going to order, because I don't think I'm ever going to get enough eggs from the few remaining hens that I have that might give me fertilized eggs, to be able to save up enough to put in an incubator. And they don't go broody. They don't really ever hatch their own eggs. So we're going to order some jumbo Coturnix Quail eggs, and we're going to hatch those. And I'm not going to be able to order them right now. It's actually beautiful today, but normally we're in the south. It's very, very hot, and you just sort of lower your potential for a good hatch rate if you're shipping and it's this, kind of weather. So we're going to just wait a little bit, maybe into September, and order maybe 50 or 60 Coturnix Quail eggs and the jumbos, and we're going to try our hand at that. And then we're probably just going to go ahead. We have these as meat birds anyway, and we'll just cull these guys, get them in the freezer, and we'll just go ahead and start anew with jumbos, because you definitely get a little bit more bang for your buck, and the eggs are bigger. And I will say, I'd never eaten quail eggs before. They're delicious, especially when you fry them and you leave the yolk runny, and you can just pop a whole egg in your mouth. They're just delicious. So I highly, highly recommend those. But that is my update, and that's my little tidbit of advice for anybody that has not seen anything about this. Just be prepared for it. I don't want anything that I've said to be taken as a deterrent for anybody that's planning on adding these. With all the lessons that I've learned so far, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. And of course I plan to. So I hope you guys are enjoying our content, and if you are, stick around, because we've got a lot more stuff coming up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss anything, because when we do, get our quail eggs, I know you're going to want to come along for the ride, because I'm going to videotape the whole thing, the process, and the moment they start hatching out. I'm really excited for that, and hopefully it's going to be coming up pretty soon. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video.